So there's this chef here on YouTube called Jean-Pierre, Jean-Pierre. And I've been getting a kick out of him. He's so animated and funny. Well, he talks about how to make sauteed onions, and he says you should cook them first and then saute them. So that's what I'm doing. He did his on the stove top. I tried it last night. I messed it up. I had the heat too high. And I thought, you know what? Crockpot. That's what's going to do it. And so the combination of watching him do that, and then I saw this girl on TikTok. Her name is Low Carb State of Mind. And she makes this bacon and onion burger topping sauce. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So good looking. So I thought to myself, you know, I could do, because, you know, like I was saying in my comment on my last video, I like the simplicity of carnivore. I like the flavors and the funness of being able to add vegetable things. So I'm going to now, this next week, I've got to finish up on my food that I have. So I can't just, you know, change everything this coming week. You know, you gotta finish off what you got. And that's a whole lot of meat and a whole lot of portions and stuff. So anyway, but I've decided for a topping for some of my meat, I'm going to make her, and I think there's a YouTube video. I'll try to put the YouTube video down in my description. I don't really know how to do that kind of thing very well. So, like I said, her name is Low Carb State of Mind. And I think if you scroll down, it's a little bit down. Anyway, so onions. So I was like, all right, well, I like onions and mushroom and bacon. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make her, I don't know, onion, bacon, mushroom jam. But I'm going to cook it in here first. So I'm using a little bit of that of Jean-Pierre's, making sure the onions are cooked first. So anyway, he's put a lid on his onions on low and let them cook for 2 hours. Like I said, I tried it and burned it. So I'm going to do the crock pot. And I'm going to let this go for 2 hours. He did not add water, I don't think, but I'm going to because my onions, they adhered to the bottom of the pan. I know it's because I had the heat too high, but still, I just don't want it to happen again. So, yeah, so I'm going to let this go, and then I will come back and show you the next stages. So according to Chef Pierre, you want to strain out all the liquid. You want to pull out your onions when they're done. And like I said, for mine it's onions and mushrooms. But before you saute them, he says you want to separate all the liquid and put them in a strainer. So that's what I scooped a bunch of it out. Now I'm just going to get the last bit along with the liquid. He said that he likes to keep the liquid, and then whenever he's making broth or something, he'll add it to that, or any sauces, he'll add some to it. Then he said it's like liquid gold. So for now, I'm just going to let this sit over this, and we will move on to the next stage. which is going to be cutting up some bacon. By the way, I had that on low. So I'm going to use my dull scissors for doing this. This poor rejected bacon. It was I had it defrosted, and then this was a while back, and then I was like, no, I don't think I want it defrosted. And then I was like, you know, last night I thought about this, and I was like, oh yeah, okay, I want it defrosted. So I pulled it back out. So this poor bacon has been frozen and defrosted. This is the second time it's been defrosted. So what she did was she cut up her bacon into little small pieces, because it's going to, of course, it's going to shrink up anyway as it cooks. So if you have not watched Chef Pierre, you really should. That man is a hoot and a half. He's just funny, really funny. So I'm going to cut this up. You don't have to watch me cut it. Just a second. Now, Low Carb State of Mind said she put her bacon into a cold pan. She said to render the fat. Okay, I have no idea about that stuff, so she obviously does. So my pan is cold, and now I'm putting my bacon in there, and I'm going to cook it until it is done. I usually cover it so that it can heat up faster, and I'll show you that when it gets closer to being done. So while that's cooking, I'm going to show you later on what I'm going to be adding. This is Swerve brown sugar, because Chef Pierre, now he is not keto or carnivore, but he used this. No, not this. He used brown sugar with his. He also used balsamic vinegar, which I thought I had, but I do not. So I'm going to use that. I'm just kind of winging it. I've got some premium fish sauce that I used when I made Melissa's chili that Dr. Barry and Nisha's friend Melissa from Cooking Keto with Faith, she used this in her chili recipe. So I'm going to use this because it kind of gives it a bold flavor. So since I don't have the balsamic vinegar, I'm going to use this. And for the vinegar, I'm going to use some red wine vinegar, and then I'm going to use, hang on, some liquid smoke. I have it in this because I can control how much comes out a lot better than when I can with this top. So yeah, so that's what this is. This is liquid smoke. So when you see me putting that in, that's what it is. I'm not going to put in much because I want it to have the bacon and mushroom and onion flavor. So, I'm not going to be putting a lot of it in, but just a little bit. But first, like I said, I got to get the bacon done, and then I'll utilize the bacon grease and a little bit of butter too. So just want to tell you what I will be using in just a few minutes. That's what I did with I have onion and mushroom juice, no dogs. Onions and mushrooms are very toxic to dogs. So now I can freeze this and I can use this later, and I'll make sure that I don't mix it up with the gravy that I put on their food. So now I'm going to pull out the bacon and put it on a paper plate to drain. Dadgum Roomba comes in here every time I record. Hold on. Okay. Just seems to always know when to run. And that's whenever Terry's recording and cooking. Doesn't bother me so much if I'm not cooking. So in the video, her low carb state of mind, I don't know her first name, otherwise I'd call her by her name. But anyway, in her video, she says to take out the bacon and some of the excess grease. So I'm going to do that after I get all my bacon out. I'm going to save. Now, as Jean-Pierre calls the onion juice liquid gold, well, I got news for him. This bacon grease is liquid gold now. This stuff, ooh, Nelly. This stuff is magical. Okay, so I'm going to use a spoon so I don't spill it, because I am clumsy like that. Maybe a little more. So when, like I said, I'm putting these two recipes together to one. So when Jean-Pierre made his, he used butter and fused olive oil. So since I don't have that, I'm just going to use bacon and then, or butter and then bacon grease. Like I said, this is going to be a really good topping for something like steak or burgers or pork or chicken, whatever you'd like to use it on. It's going to be really good for any of those things. So I'm going to turn this back down a little bit. I had cranked it up to help the bacon get done faster. I'm going to let the butter melt. I think I put in too much butter, but I'll take that back out of the butter. There, you can sit it right there. Now, here is the onion and mushrooms. I don't have a good angle for y'all, so you can't really watch me pour it out. Not fancy like some of those other channels, but it'll work, it'll work. So now, these are already cooked. They just need to be sauteed and browned. Now mine are already a little, they look brown because they were in there with the brown mushrooms. And that water had a browned look. Isn't that? Don't I sound so smart? So now I'm going to saute this up and get them more golden brown. I'm just going to keep them in here and let that water evaporate. and the liquid from the butter and all that good stuff. Let that evaporate a little bit. And I'll come back and show you more. Okay, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. This is how it's looking. I have big chunks of mushroom in there, but I don't care. What I'm doing, I just kind of stir it up and then spread it out so that it can kind of almost sear the whatever pieces are on the bottom. Now, two different ways, and I don't know what's best because I'm not a chef. Chef Pierre, just from here, added in his balsamic, I mean, he didn't have bacon, but he added in the balsamic vinegar and baking brown sugar. Well, when Low Carb State of Mind added in her bacon, she added in the balsamic, but then she also added in some water and let it all evaporate. I do not know why she did it, but since hers is the end result that I'm wanting, I'm going to do what she said and add the little bit of water, but not yet. I'm going to kind of give this all a stir in, let this all kind of mix together a little bit. Well, looking at this, I could probably see why she did add the water. It's kind of all separate right now. So maybe the water kind of brought it all together and made it stick better. Okay, so I'm going to add, like I said, they both added balsamic vinegar. Here's some red wine vinegar. Here is the fish sauce. Some liquid smoke. And then this is one teaspoon of brown sugar. Now, I am so afraid of having to go through the withdrawals that rarely, and I do mean rarely, do I add any sugar, any sweetener to anything. And Low Carb State of Mind did not add sweetener or any brown sugar or anything. The reason why I did was because Chef Pierre did. So that's what I'm saying. This is a definite mixture of recipes. And I'm adding about 4 tablespoons of water. So, and then after she added the water and put everything together, then she let it reduce down to the jam that was in the end. So, now I'm going to taste it just to see. Ooh, that's good. And it really doesn't need any more reducing, really. So, how am I going to store all this? So, because you know me, I like freezing stuff. So I've got a bunch of these little containers. So, I'm going to store enough to go on top of some kind of meat, but not enough that it's going to be like 1,000 calories or something, you know. Sorry, I'm about to burn myself as I reach over my little dummy. It would help if you turn off your burner before you reach over your hot thing, but you know, sometimes using your noggin is not my forte. So, this will be my little portions that I can toss in the freezer and pull out one every day or every other day or however often I want to do it or not want to do it. And I won't be having one big container that I have to try to chip off a portion or something. I'll just have these little individual portions. And you know, I could show you up close how it looks, huh? That's how it looks. You could see the onions and the bacon and the mushrooms. So it's about that much in these containers. So I don't know how much these little containers are. Hang on. Lord, I can't read that. My guess would be a 4th cup. So, yeah. So that is what I'll call my onion, mushroom, bacon, reduction, topping, something. Whatever we call it. Oh! Hang on. Now listen, I've got bedhead, so sorry, but I am down 2 more pounds this week. So I am down a total of 98 pounds. Counting the 1,600 calories is working for now. So, you know, calories in, calories out, whether, you know, or not we believe it. Maybe it's because of what I'm eating. Maybe I don't know, whatever. But it's working, so, and ignore this. I just got food all over me while I was cooking. Anyway, so yeah, so my starting was 338. I am down to 240 this morning. So it is working. So yes. So I'm going to continue with the 600 calorie thing. And like I said before, after this week, I may decide to go a little more on the more meat or heavy side and fewer vegetables, because it is, what time is it? It's almost noon, and I've gone to the bathroom 4 times today. And so, yeah, maybe, I don't know. We'll see. I'm just going with it. But, yeah. So now you know how we're doing. And 2 pounds down. Yay!